So another tired update from the bathroom, and as you can tell, once again my hair is newly washed, and it's like this awful in between stage where like the bottom hair is still wet and curly, which I kind of like, but it never stays like that way when it's dry, and the upper is dry and fizzy, and yeah, it looks pretty awful. Words for that in Swedish, but I don't know what I mean in English, so I sprayed them. Today has been a quite long day, I feel. I'm really tired, as you can tell, and no surprise, but was last week taking a lot of energy, and also was a message about Rose's health and everything like that. And tomorrow my parents are going to babysit Rose, as the preschool is closed for one day. We have this like overall planning for the rest of the semester, so we close it, and just the staff is working tomorrow. So yeah, I guess it's okay. My parents watch her. And today, when I was cooking, Ro was in a very good mode. It was nice, and I was standing there by the stove and doing things, and Ro went back and forth between the kitchen and the living room. I was really cheerful, and she's like, "It kept painting, it kept painting." I'm like, okay, dog is painting, not good, but it didn't look like there was any paint involved. And she was coming back and forth, as I said, and so I didn't think she was painting the dog or anything like that, because you never know with Rose, she could get any ideas in her head. And all of a sudden, I see from the corner of my eyes, I see her face, and it's all white, completely all white, and her hands too. And I was like, "This is." I had this pot with flour, and it's tipped over. I thought I put it back in the cupboard, which I apparently didn't, but instead it had tipped over and fell down on a chair. And if it fell on the floor, I had seen it. But now it was on the chair, and it was behind the table, so I couldn't see it. And Ro had found those, so she went and took some in her hands, put it on the floor in front of Ika, and when Ika walked in it, was white footprints on the floor, and looking like Ika was painting. And I mean, you can't be angry, because it's experiment, and it's a creative idea, I must say. And I mean, it was in, if I put something on a chair, it should be, you know, okay for her to take it. It's not like she could know better than that, but it was quite a mess. Sometimes quite funny too, I guess. But yeah, that was one of those days when everything just goes wrong. And I'm thinking I want to watch some series and things like that, because I'm spending a lot of time alone in the nights now. Because we're sleeping, and you don't really go out and see people when she's sleeping naturally. And my friends are the same situation, which are home, they have children her age, and yeah, you're home at weeknights, you're just home. And I want to watch something else serious and things like that, but I had started to watch a lot of things, but every time it's something that, or most of those are things that I started to watch while I was talking to this guy I've been talking about a lot, and some of them things he recommended, or we've been talking about, or even watched episodes of, and every time I try to watch one of those, I just turned off. I just feel sad, and it's even a lot of books, because I have a bookshelf like full of books I haven't read, and many of them are again things I talked to him about, and things I even bought because he was talking about reading them. And I think it's nice if you read, if you can share, you know, experience of reading a book. If you read close in time with to a friend of yours, and you can discuss it and so on. I think it's really fun, but it just makes me sad. And sometimes I think like getting rid of those books, but it's hard. And sometimes I think about finding something else to watch, but those are there, like, you know, in my watch list, and it's, I don't know, it makes me kind of sad. It's like this series of clips of on YouTube. It's like a YouTube movie, and first time we knew it was like a month waiting to see the first episode and watch it together, and when we was supposed to watch the next, and he wasn't very nice, and when he watched it on his own, I said, oh, you can watch it, that and the next one we can talk about later. And like, no, I just feel sad. And when I stop talking, and it's like, it's still there. It's always pop up every time I go in at YouTube. This pop up as a suggestion to watch, and it makes me feel like crying every time. And it's, I don't know, maybe I have to block the video or something. I don't know, but it's